This is Iceland. Let's do a reaction review to Iceland. 35 things you can do for fun in Iceland. Let's proceed. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV, and today we're going to show you the best things to do in Iceland, known as the land of fire and ice plus Aurora Borealis. This is going to be one of the most complete travel guides you've ever seen about Iceland, with 35 must-see places. Let's begin. First up, we're headed to the Blue Lagoon. Contrary to what most people think, this is actually a man-made geothermal spa filled with water from a nearby power plant. You will definitely need to book ahead, especially in the summer months if you plan to come here. Ticket prices range from $112 all the way up to $180 US. And now from the Blue Lagoon, we're going to show you the most popular route in all of Iceland. This here is the Golden Circle. So the Golden Circle is usually a day trip that begins in Reykjavik and then takes you around in a circle. And the destinations that you'll see along the way are going to be Thingvellir National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you can literally walk between North America and the Eurasian tectonic plates. They do have diving here at the Silfra Fissure, popular for snorkeling and crystal clear glacier water. You will obviously need a wetsuit for this.
Now, this goes out to all my African American peoples. You probably need to learn how to swim, but this does look pretty cool. So far, it looks like something I would try, but if I'm going to do it, I need at least a lifeguard on duty or somebody who knows how to swim just in case I can't hold my weight. Let's continue.
And it is known as the first historical site of Iceland's first parliament, founded in 930 AD. This is freshwater, so it's not salt water. And don't worry if snorkeling in between the tectonic plates in ice cold water is not your thing. They also have a walking trail around here where you can check out waterfalls. And part of the Golden Circle tour is going to be the Gullfoss waterfall. As you can see, this is really beautiful. Sometimes you get a nice rainbow cascading off of this waterfall here, and just a super beautiful location. Huge waterfall. It's like a mini Niagara Falls here in Iceland. Just take into consideration, if you arrive here during the winter months, it can be quite brutal weather. I came during June and it was good weather, but a bit gloomy with gray skies. Ticket prices vary depending on if you're taking a collective bus tour in a van or if you're doing a private tour, but usually it starts around $86 and goes all the way up to as high as $400 for the entire day tour around the Golden Circle. Here we are at the geyser. So this geyser also has a walk. You hike up the mountain where you'll see steam vents, and then you get to the top, you get a nice view looking down. But the main site here is the geyser, which does erupt pretty frequently, around every 5 to 10 minutes, and it shoots around 15 to 20 meters into the sky. That's about 50 to 60 feet high. It's not quite Old Faithful, but it's quite nice. Now we're actually headed back to Reykjavik. We're going to go to the Sky Lagoon. This is just like the Blue Lagoon. I actually arrived here without a reservation, and I don't necessarily recommend trying to do that, but I was able to get in without a reservation. They've got saunas, and they've got a big lagoon here. You can hang out, real hot. Again, this is a man-made geothermal spring.
Yo, that's pretty amazing that as technology has come, man is able to create something like the pool here where it's actually steaming and it's warm. We gotta give it props to man-made. We've come a long ways. Number two, you gotta remember to make reservations. A lot of us get comfortable. We go to certain popular destination. Once we get to that popular destination, we assume that we can just get there and people are gonna welcome us and it's not gonna be a line. Reality check, places like this, Iceland, it's a very popular destination. Just do your research, make the reservations. Once you make your reservations, be on time, because a lot of people are starting to go to these places. We have to understand that social media is changing the game. Social media is letting us see places, do reaction videos like I'm doing, to the point where you're going to see it, you're going to want to go there. So don't forget to make reservations. Don't be that person that just shows up and ends up getting denied.
Price to get in here is around $50 to $75 depending on the package. By the way, in Iceland they use the Icelandic krona, which is the currency here. It's not the euro, so take that into consideration when you're doing the conversion rates. I recommend the app XP for that. I would also suggest taking a day or half a day to explore around Reykjavik. There's a lot to see and do, plenty of restaurants, cafes, they've got some nightlife here. It's a charming town, it's a city actually, right along the waterfront, but again, it's cold out here in Iceland, so make sure you dress for the environment. And yes, even in June, July, and August, it is chilly, so you're going to want to bring a jacket and pants. Iceland is considered a Nordic country along with Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden, the Faroe Islands, and Greenland. There's a great history here with Eric the Red and Leifur Eriksson. We'll talk about that later. In Reykjavik, there is a church here called Hallgrímskirkja. Very hard to pronounce. I'm not very good with Icelandic language, I admit, but I'm doing my best. And along with the church here, this is where the statue of Leifur Eriksson is located. And if you're interested in learning more about the history of Iceland, I recommend going to the National Museum of Iceland. They talk about the culture, Leifur and Eric the Red, as well as the Viking artifacts, medieval churches. There's also the Wonders of Iceland Museum. This is called the Perlon. Now we're headed up to the north. This here is Kirkjufell Mountain. They also have a waterfall here. This is an absolutely stunning place. It's famous for the northern lights. It's also famous for the views that you get with the waterfall and the mountain in the background. You can just come out here and just take pictures and be in awe of the beauty here. This is on the northwestern edge of Iceland. About 2.5 hour drive from Reykjavik. It's also known as Church Mountain. One thing Iceland is known for is waterfalls. Here we are at Haifass. This is one of the other beautiful waterfalls. Actually, there's so many in the country because of all the ice melt. You get lots of streams and rivers on this island. This is just one of them. This is one of Iceland's tallest waterfalls. That's what Haifass actually translates to, high waterfall in Icelandic. It is about a 2-hour drive from Reykjavik. Now we're going out to southern Iceland. This here is Reynisfjara Beach. This is a black sand beach. Just be careful walking around this beach. There have been several people who got caught up by the waves and then swept out to sea. The last thing you want to do is end up in that ice cold Icelandic water. I mean, goodness gracious, but it is such a beautiful place. Just be aware the ocean out here is ferocious, but such a stunning place with these cliffs and the beach. And if you keep going down the southern coast here, you end up in Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. It is a famous glacier area where you'll see broken chunks of a glacier falling into the ocean. And then if you go down a little bit, you'll even see there's a black sand beach, which is known as Diamond Beach. This is another beautiful black sand beach. You have to be careful here, but you do see these beautiful ice chunks right there on the beach. So spectacular. You won't see this in many places in the world. You can even do a boat tour around this ice lagoon. Some say this is the most beautiful place in Iceland. Here we are at another beautiful waterfall. This is Seljalandsfoss. And anytime you see foss at the end, that's going to mean waterfall in Icelandic, with the full word being fossar. And now let's talk about northern lights, also known as aurora borealis here in Iceland, one of the most magical natural phenomena you'll see anywhere in the world. Now the best time to see aurora borealis in Iceland is from September to mid-April. That's going to be the winter times. The best way to see it is outside of the cities in the northern part.
Did you guys catch that? The winters in Iceland are April to September. So once you're in your travels, you're making your plans, you might find a cheaper ticket at a certain time, which is fine. You might find tickets are cheaper during the winter times because a lot of people don't like to go in the winter. Most people prefer to travel in the summertime, but just remember the times to, if you go to Iceland or if you go somewhere else, look at the seasons because a lot of us, we're just ready to go.
Of the country away from the lights. Now here we are at Hengifoss, which literally translates to Hanging Falls. It's in East Iceland. It's a 30-minute drive from the main town out here, Ingolstar, and then you can do a hike out here, but it's famous for the coloration in the sand or the dirt here, and it is 420 feet high. That's 128 meters. And now here we are at Stuthlagil. This is another canyon, river, ravine. Beautiful area to explore. It's quite far up there in northeastern Iceland, as you can see on the map. Now let's talk about the fiery side of the fire and ice. Here in Iceland, this here is active lava flows. Although right now at this current moment there are no eruptions, but Iceland is one of the most volcanically active places on Earth. And actually, Fagradalsfjall is actually one of the recent active volcanoes. It's just south of Reykjavik, so you can easily get out here. Pay attention to when this one is erupting, because right now it is currently inactive, but it could go at any time. There's also some in the far north, so that's fun to know information. As always, be extra careful when going out to a lava field where there's active lava. Now we're going to talk about another waterfall. Now here we are at Skogafoss. This one's beautiful because it occasionally gets the rainbow right there at the bottom of the actual falls. Located on the Skoga River in South Iceland. It's just off the Ring Road, which we will be talking about here shortly. That's definitely another road trip you want to do. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, you can subscribe to Island Hopper TV as we continue to take you around the world. Next up, here we are at Seljalandsfoss. Yet again, another waterfall. As I told you before, there's so many beautiful waterfalls. You're probably wondering which one's which. Some of them look similar. But this one's unique because you can actually walk behind the waterfall inside a cave-like space, giving you a really unique, rare perspective. A good news about this is it's only 1.5 hour drive away from Reykjavik. In the winter, it can get icy and dangerous out here, but in the summer, you can get very wet, so wear rain gear when you're coming out here. Next up, here we are at Seyðisfjörður. This is actually on the eastern edge of Iceland. This is the largest town out here in northeastern Iceland. So if you're looking for a base camp, this is the spot you're going to be. Very remote, but nice, charming village, isn't it? It's nestled at the head of a fjord, and it's surrounded by towering mountains. So really spectacular here, kind of colorful. And you can see it does have a ferry line that connects it with Denmark's Faroe Islands. By the way, if you wanted to go out to the Faroe Islands, it would take about 15 to 19 hours by ferry on what is known as the Norrøna ferry or the Smyril line. It goes once per week in the winter and more frequently in the summer. And now here we are at the crown jewel of Iceland. This here is Landmannalaugar. And this is actually one of the most famous places known for its dramatic scenery. This is on the northwestern side of Iceland. That's actually where the Haifoss waterfall is located, but you could see dramatic scenery out here. You can also do plenty of hiking through here. It is located on a lava field of a volcanic eruption from 1477. This is considered actually the Iceland Highlands, and they have a few different sites to explore due to the rainbow palette, red, blue, green, yellow, pinks that make up the landscape and the rock from the volcanic minerals and moss. Here they actually have natural hot geothermal pools. And here we are at the Vatnajökull. This is actually a glacier, big glacier on the southern side of the island. It is easily accessible from the Ring Road, which we will be talking about here in a moment. But the volcanoes are under the ice. Iceland's most frequently erupting volcano is actually here. And here we are at Glimmer Waterfall. This is actually just north of Reykjavik. This is the Glimmer Waterfall, and it's the second highest in Iceland. Something famous to do in Iceland is whale watching. For those of you who want to get out on the water and see what's up with the whales out here, so much whale activity actually. Iceland used to be known for whaling. You will see some
Yeah, this is beautiful. I didn't even know that Iceland had this much to do. Looks like something I need to add onto my list, but hey, you all need to go to Iceland. But also, before you go to Iceland, be sure to save your money because I'm sure all these things you're going to go out there will cost you money. As always, if you're going on vacation, just save your money because you know you're going to spend a lot. I mean, all these things you're going to be doing, obviously, try to get a tour guide, somebody who knows what's going on, but also enjoy because this is some beautiful stuff right here.
Beached boats out on the shorelines. Those are old whalers, but whale watching very famous in Iceland for humpbacks in particular. And if you love animals, they've got the Icelandic horse, the Arctic fox. They also have seals and dolphins in the ocean. Also, if you love birds, famous for the Atlantic puffin. They have plenty of seabirds here, the Atlantic tern. So if you love birds, come on out here to Iceland. Also, it's not uncommon to see plenty of different sheep across the island. You'll see shepherds herding their sheep. Now, if you really loved everything you just saw and you want to get a good taste of Iceland, do the 7 to 10 day Ring Road tour. The Ring Road goes all around Iceland. So you get to see the south, you get to see the northeast, you get to see the north, you get to see the northwest. So much to see in Iceland, and the ring road. You can do it on a tour. Some people even do it in their own vehicles. Just take into consideration the incredibly dramatic weather. That's why for your first time, it's probably better to go with a local guide. Up in the north, if you're looking for some otherworldly type environments, Havergal volcano really does look like a moonscape. So maybe consider coming all the way up here to the north, stopping by. But as you see, we went around Iceland, one of the most amazing places on planet Earth, with all of the fire and ice that you saw, the northern lights, aurora borealis dancing in the sky. How can you get any more spectacular than what you just saw in Iceland? If you enjoy what you're looking at here, then the ring road is perfect for you. And you can't forget about the small towns that you'll see along the way. There's more to Iceland than just Reykjavik. And there's a few different international airports in Iceland that you can even depart from. You don't have to just depart from Keflavik Airport in Reykjavik. And this here is an example of a beached whaler. You'll see a few of these as you go around on the ring road, or maybe you can do a boat tour. You'll see those. But if you guys enjoyed this one from Iceland, please consider watching another one of our videos. I will put a link to the most beautiful places on planet Earth right here at the end. Click that link right there.
All right, guys, that is the end of the video. Sheesh. Iceland. Iceland. Remember, if you're going to travel anywhere such as Iceland or whatever, be sure if you're going somewhere, get a tour guide, somebody who knows the area very well. So if you get lost, you will be fine with them. Number two, get ready to spend your money. Anytime you're traveling on vacation, you're going to spend. You're going to spend. Number three, just be safe. As you're out there, be safe when you're walking. Be respectful of people. And when you're leaving your hotel, always remember to put your passport in your safe. And also, at least get to the airport 2 to 3 hours early in case something happens with customs or there's staffing issues. But once you're there early, you can get home safe. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel as we continue to grow. Until next time, world. Whew.